Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another race at the Bwoah Racing League. I'm Sarthak, and as always, alongside me, Rudra. What's up, man?
Back, and what a cracker of a race do we have today?
Yeah, speaking of races, the last race at Germany, the Hockenheim Ring, has been, basically everyone's decided that we won't be considering those results and we'll be redoing the German GP at the end of the season. And so we'll see Hockenheim Ring action once again. But the stream of the German GP from last weekend, the German GP that wasn't, is still on our channel. Go check that out. And looks like we are jumping right into shock qualifying already.
Looks like I didn't miss the German GP after all, but it'll be glad to see the boys back in action because that's the only action we'll see from Hockenheim this year.
Facts. True that, isn't it? Let's not even touch upon real F1 in my opinion, because you're in for a disastrous race today evening, possibly, as Ferrari fans at least. Oh my god. Anyway.
Just hope for a redemption season and go with the flow for now.
True that. And Belgium, Spa. What's the one word that comes up in your mind when we say, when we talk about this track, Rudra?
For me, I guess it has to be perfection. Maybe beauty a close second, because anybody who is familiar with the entire F1 calendar can obviously name the Spa track in their top three, if not the best. It's just something about it which kind of draws people everywhere. I'm sure you would be feeling the same way.
Yep, a lot of similar vibes there, especially when it comes to this track. I think I mentioned this even on Instagram that this is one of those tracks where, if not everyone in the Formula 1 community, most of them actually enjoy this one.
That's very true. You can literally let go, and it's the perfect track to see where man meets machine. Your car has to be as good as the driver, and you can truly showcase how good you are as well as how good the team is. It's just a track made in heaven, I suppose.
Yep. We've seen some incredible racing action in real Formula 1 on this track. And just last weekend, we were at this track in real Formula 1. And also, race to 0 hour, Thursday, they had the race at Spa as well. And this weekend, we got Spa with the Bwoah Racing League boys. Just over 16 minutes to go in shock qualifying as the drivers come out for their out laps. Thoughts, Rudra? Because technically speaking, this is KDB and Big Man Joe's first race after a long break. Even though last weekend's race they were there, but it's not going to be taken into consideration.
I suppose this is the perfect chance for them to get back on the horse and try to extend their lead as much as possible, because Big Man Joe still sits a little bit comfortably on the rankings, but Accelerate has jumped to second position, and this might be the track that suits them, because as everybody knows, Spa is one of the fastest tracks in the calendar, and KDB, Accelerate, Thunderbird, UK, these all are pretty quick drivers.
Yes, they are. Sector 3 goes yellow. I'm guessing a car's going awfully slow, but well said there. Speaking of Accelerate, he's probably the guy who capitalized on the entire situation where KDB and Big Man Joe missed out a couple of races, isn't he? I mean, he fared pretty well prior to the initial race. I'm guessing going back 2 races ago at least, you mentioned that the Supreme Leader was the driver who was in a perfect position to actually make that jump ahead of Big Man Joe, but clearly he couldn't.
As of now, how things stand, Big Man Joe is at 142 points, Accelerate is second at 126, and the Supreme Leader is third at 122. A gap of 4 points. As long as Accelerate finishes above the Supreme Leader, he will maintain second position.
Yep. And for those of you wondering why it says Roman Grosjean and Alexander Albon, it's for UK and Srivatsan, who'll be joining us probably halfway into qualifying. They've got a couple of things to clear up right before the qualifying and the race itself. So we'll be waiting for them as well. Hopefully they join. Meanwhile, Setu RC18.
To see is how Rocketman has been renamed to VPA 999.
Oh, okay. Guess what, Rudra? That's a new driver.
Oh.
Yep. VPA. The lad actually spectated in game for one of the Bwoah Racing League races, and the following race he joined right in. So this is his second race. Technically his first where he's going to be able to score points. So it'll be interesting to see where he finishes.
It's like my medical leave took me by surprise right now, but excited to see how the new change works out. I thought we were done with our silly season, Sarthak.
Clearly we aren't.
Like it had to continue.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if it keeps continuing. Sicknig with a bit of an issue there. He went off track for a while, but he has set a lap time 1:47.015. That is looking strong, with KDB setting a 1:51.767. But can I keep him on pole is the question. Too soon to tell. Huh?
The thing with Spa is that it is the longest track on the F1 calendar, right? I think it is around 7 kilometers, 7.2 kilometers.
Yeah,
and
almost.
What you normally see on other tracks is not what you see on Spa. It's an exception. Any track you might see 2 tenths, 3 tenths of a gap, but in Spa, because it's so long, you can see differences up to a second. And one tiny move can cost you a position, maybe a couple of positions at times.
Okay, for sure.
So it's gonna be interesting to see about who nails the lap more than how fast they are on it, I would suppose.
Speaking of which, talking about the race itself, I'm getting information that there will be some rain mid-race apparently. Some rain. How's that panned out for us before, Rudra?
I don't know, I guess in this scenario, Real F1 and the Bwoah Racing League are hand in hand because we always predict rain and it never comes, other than maybe 2-3 races so far. But it will definitely make things exciting. Maybe we can have another repeat of Silverstone perhaps.
Probably.
That was a cracker.
Indeed it was. What a race Silverstone was. And for those of you in the chat, what has happened to the Supreme Leader?
Had a tremendous tank slapper. He just went sideways through the track.
Unfortunate.
And that's his front wing on the track.
Qualifying disaster for Supreme Leader. He's been caught off guard multiple times in the previous races. It's not been his piece of cake, so to speak. Hopefully, the race is yet to start.
Maybe the pressure is getting to him finally.
Probably. He was real close to Big Man Joe. Now he's not as close anymore. But clearly something's wrong. Something's definitely wrong.
It's not like he's performed badly in the Renault. They did have good races. But of the last 2 races, he had a DNF in Silverstone that still cannot believe that crashed, but yeah. that happened.
Oh my.
And a P13 in Hungary. So I don't know what's exactly going on with
it's just being
Supreme Leader right now.
It's just a series of unfortunate events, maybe. Being caught off guard that way. And speaking of series of unfortunate events, the lad who's lost his front wing the most number of times in Race to 0R is here racing with us. UK has joined the lobby.
Finally, now let's see a banger of a lap from him. Probably at the end of the qualifying, I expect.
Yep, possibly. But meanwhile, we're on board our good mate Gouts.
What a redemption season it has been for Gods.
It has, hasn't it? Apparently, from the other drivers I heard, his race pace was looking... his pace was looking incredible in the practice race they were having.
That's good to hear, and he's definitely coming back from a terrific performance at Hungary, finishing P4 if I'm not wrong.
Yes, he was so happy about that strategy. He was so happy. He almost got on top of the podium, but couldn't quite get it. His best result in this season, and good things to come, hopefully.
Definitely.
Okay, will be joining us soon enough. Meanwhile, another quick update from the drivers themselves from the practice session they were having. Mr. Rusty Nish is incredibly fast, is what I heard from Freeze, who we will see setting a possible lap time contending for pole. Looks like sector 3 just went yellow. Meanwhile, Accelerate still yet to set a lap time. Those of you in chat, make sure you drop who you're here for. Who do you think will come out on top? Meanwhile, VPA, Cuppy, both of the lads, aren't they the ones to look out for every race? They've got their friends watching it and showing them support. Incredible, truly, all of you. Evelyn, Shri Kripa, Sanjukta, all of you all are awesome. We really appreciate you coming by and supporting Only Cuppy and VPA, and also Hyrox24. I believe they're from the same circle. And speaking of the two lads, looks like Only Cuppy has dropped to P9 as Accelerate sets the lap time for P8. Rudra, are you with me?
Yes, I am. And
Okay.
right as you were saying, it reminded me of the Hungarian GP, of how Racing Point completely dominated that race. Ended up
my
taking 2
God.
podiums
Yep.
and the win, including a win.
That was
And
incredible.
Only Cuppy coming off 2 consecutive podiums.
Yeah, true.
How can I'm not counting? But
Yep.
I wonder if we can pull the same performance today as well.
That is the question, isn't it? And thinking about Only Cuppy itself, it's been 3 races. He's had 3 races here, and 2 of them have been podiums. What's to say he's not going to get a win this time?
Maybe. I mean, Silverstone is a sort of a fast track, you could say. But Hungaroring was a very technical track, and this is again a fast track, possibly the fastest on the calendar, including Monza. Do you feel he has the pace compared to his technique?
Question for sure. We'll find out. But in my opinion, yes. But I think Only Cuppy and Hyrox24 are a good combination. You know, I think both of them, if they can qualify together around the same spot, of course the sweet spot is the top 3. But then again, them together is perfect for the team and for each other. I believe they do have a race engineer involved in the voice channel on Discord as well.
That is really going to be very helpful. And they definitely have performed better as a team, not just as drivers.
Yes, they have. Speaking of which, just over 6 minutes to go in short qualifying, as Big Man Joe said, lap time 1 minute 46.488 puts him on provisional pole for now. Freeze's time is also up there, like I expected, and Setu RC18 up there too. Meanwhile, Only Cuppy gang, loads of support in the chat. Go Big Man Joe. Vishnu is here as well for Big Man Joe and Hyrox. Meanwhile, UK seems to have issues taking control of his AI, and looks like there was an incident almost in the pit lane between a Toro Rosso and a Red Bull. I believe the Red Bull was coming out of the pits, and no, that was weird. Yep, the Red Bull was coming out of the pits and the Toro Rosso going in. Close one.
Now,
Yes, Rudra, your thoughts on Sicknick? He's been an aggressive driver in a couple of the races, but he has shown strong performance in the past couple of races for sure. Like top 10 finishes every time almost, if I'm not wrong.
it's true. And if we were to look at his season so far, he has only scored points in 3 races, 2 of which were the last 2 won.
Yep.
So he's been on an upward rise, and consistently, although the Hungarian GP was not up to mark, he did manage to get P5 at Silverstone.
Yeah, let's.
So I definitely hope he gets more points at Belgium, because this is his track. This is somewhere he can take advantage of.
You think so? You really think the Red Bull, considering we do run realistic performance here, it actually does, fit well to Spa?
It does. I mean, ignoring the high rake and whatever the setup they might be going for, his drive is more about pace rather than handling. And given that Belgium has long curves and humongous average speed, he maybe could do it.
Yep.
I really feel he could.
Let's see, time will tell. Meanwhile, Rudra, let me divert your attention to Mr. Wex, who set a lap time 1 minute 46.512, putting himself in P2 for now.
I was expecting him to put up a fast because so far we had 4 drivers who have not put any time, and Mr. Wex was definitely going to be in the top 5 for me. But Super and Vix 356 are yet to put a quality time, as well as Rusty Nish. And I definitely expect the 3 of them to be in the top 10 at least. Yeah. But I don't know, because even Accelerate is at P10 right now, which is kind of shocking.
Meanwhile, KDB seems to be in a fast lap. Let me go to the chat. We've got Rocketman saying, "Go Sarthak." The lad has technically retired from this season of the BRL, but will be back in 2020. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of racecraft he brings to the next season. Of course, meanwhile, Big Man Joe is still on provisional pole. 3 minutes to go in shock qualifying. 10 of you all watching, drop in the chat who you're here for. Who do you think will take pole? Outlap for Freeze. Rusty Nish still yet to set a lap time. Is he on a fast lap? Yes, he is. Can the Scuderia Ferrari here in the Belgian GP of the Bwoah Racing League entertain the Ferrari fans? Because clearly at Monza today, we can only hope for the best. Finish on a roll. Did the bot of Alexander Albon really impede him there? I don't think so, but doesn't look like he's in the fastest of all laps. Joe for president, says Rocketman in the chat. President of what exactly? And looks like there is an issue of most Ferrari and Haas. That was the roaming. Yep, that was Grosjean bot. The Grosjean bot's presence on track not being too kind for Rusty Nish, as he is trying his best to put this car on pole. Rudra, are you with me?
I am, and like you mentioned, Joe for president, I guess that is when Grosjean's bot kind of got pissed.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
True. Rusty Nish's lap time puts him P7 with just over a minute to go. Top 3 are coming out on their outlaps, and looks like Rusty Nish on another fast lap almost instantly. Supreme Leader and Vix 356, both the Renaults are still yet to set a lap time.
Wonder if it might be too late for them to set it up, because they should be out on tracks right now.
Yeah, and looks like, okay, no issues. I almost thought Big Man Joe lost his front wing. Meanwhile, sector 3 goes yellow. Big Man Joe still on provisional pole, just under a minute for shock qualifying to end. Couple of drivers coming out on the outlap as well.
What's that? Like, I actually feel like Supreme Leader is gonna be starting P17 if Vix actually manages to set a time.
Possibly.
He's still in the pit.
And he slides. It's the McLaren. Rusty Nish retires. What happened there? Rusty Nish, disaster for Rusty Nish. What has happened to the Ferrari driver?
As well as VPN 999.
Yup. Disaster. The two might have collided, the Alfa Romeo and Ferrari. Meanwhile, we were on board Mr. Wex. Supreme Leader has retired from the session as well. What's to say this is not intentional? Meanwhile, provisional pole for Big Man Joe. Mr. Wex on his fast lap as well. Big Man Joe on his fast lap as well.
At least Mr. Wex got out of it without any sort of damage to his car. That is more important.
True that, and Freeze has set a possible pole lap here. Meanwhile, Big Man Joe is at sector 2, Mr. Wex as well. Let's see who's gonna come out on top. Sicknick on his fast lap as well, but not looking as fast as you might expect him to be.
A lot of them might just be cooling down from the laps because they're happy with the positions they qualified in. But I definitely feel Big Man Joe and Mr. Wex to compete for the pole right now.
It's anyone's guess as Big Man Joe comes into sector 3. He's got just a couple more turns to go. Who do you think?
I say fully sending it right now. Fully sending it.
Yep. And across the line, do you think he can do it?
Maybe, I guess so.
Nope, he couldn't. He stays P2. Mr. Wex, what about you? Nope. He instead tries to act a little funny across the line, which means unless Sicknick can beat that pole lap, Threes has that pole position.
I'm kind of hoping Mr. Wex to start doing donuts again, like he does after every quali.
Yep. Okay. Awfully slow here, accelerate. And Sicknick across the line he comes, stays P4. Yep, which means we got a pole position, and for the first time in the top 3 in qualifying, Mr. Wex. Brilliant. Second pole for Freeze.
I don't know if I'm getting the French GB vibes right now, but Freeze has everything to prove us wrong.
Could be. Could be.
Oh, a little bit of mischief going over there, bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
Trying to push the end out.
Yep. Week 356 and Week 356 and Freeze messing about. Sanjukta in the chat says, I want donuts. Did they say donuts? I want donuts. Okay. The only donuts we are handing out is courtesy of the drivers on track.
Mr. Freeze maybe not too close for comfort.
These two are bringing an essence of NASCAR into F1, truly, right now.
I can imagine Lightning McQueen right now going, yeah, that's my boy.
Of course, Freeze takes pole position at Belgium. Right behind a Big Man Joe and at P3 Mr. Wex. What a qualifying that was. Freeze up pole, Big Man Joe P2, Mr. Wex P3 and Sicknick right there. P4, KDB a bit off his pace, P5. But considering the nature of this track, and he is in the Williams with realistic performance, clearly it's going to affect him. And as we wait for the drivers to sort out their setups and for the race to begin, make sure you keep the chat buzzing with the name of the driver you'd like to see on top. Belgium, Spa, Radion. I can't wait to see that part of the track.
It's so steep, it's just amazing how the cars just zoom through it. It really makes for some good camera angles.
Yes, they do. Let's hope the game has the most brilliant camera angles.
Yes, that is very true.
Okay, looks like there's an incredible less number of drivers here. Looks like we will have to restart possibly. Yep, seems like we've got a bit of an issue, but this time around we had Ryan looking at the whole race, the whole qualifying, the whole session, in fact, from an outsider's view. So clearly he's taken a decision, and the decision is custom grid, which means it'll be a custom lobby once again. So folks, stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Probably give out your predictions for Monza this evening. Clearly that's the race right after the Bwoah Racing League race. What do you think? Who do you think will come out on top? My bets are McLaren on a podium. What do you think, Rudra?
Be possible given how strong Sainz has looked on weekend.
Possible. Let's see.
Should be done as well, I guess.
Yeah, possibly. Sainz has looked good. It would be nice to see Norris on the podium once again, of course. A Ferrari podium is a story for the books, I guess. Not this time, at least.
If Ferrari manages to shoot house themselves into a podium,
Mm-hmm.
I would be ready to scream from the terrace.
Of course.
But yeah, everybody is familiar with their struggles, and the recent press conference was actually a little bit positive.
Mm-hmm.
Charles saying that they have been working on an upgraded engine. I believe that the FIA has allowed 2 engine upgrades to every team, and Ferrari are confident that they will have a competent engine next year. So let's hope for the best, because it not only affects them, it also affects their sister teams, Haas and Alfa Romeo.
True it does. But imagine what kind of racer, what kind of pure just love, passion and skill Kimi Raikkonen has. He's been finishing in the races ahead of the Ferraris.
I still feel that Kimi has been treated unfairly. I mean, Ferrari has a tendency to be very rough, very ruthless with their drivers and staff.
Mm-hmm.
Alonso kind of faced it, Kimi kind of faced it, Vettel is kind of facing it right now, and yeah, they're pretty unforgiving.
Okay,
Of
Sanjuk.
course, they require the best in quality, but then again, if the car's not up to the mark, you can't really blame the drivers, can you?
True that. Very true. You can't blame the drivers one bit. And looks like Sanjukta is spamming in the chat saying, commentators, what's your names and bio data, my friends like you. Go ahead, give yourself an intro. Any kind of descriptions. Looks like we've lost connection once again, folks. Y'all have to hold. Wait up as we get ready for the race, the Belgian GP. Anyway, back to Monza, Rizza. Thoughts on possibly a Mercedes 1-2 again? I mean, it's been up for debate, the whole dominance by Mercedes. What's your opinion on it, honestly? Because I have opinions about it myself, but I don't really want to get to it. I have an opinion as a Ferrari fan, and then I have like a more, unbiased opinion as well.
To support a team, that's the beauty of the sport, be it any sport for that matter, football, motorsports, anything. But you are right on this regard. It's just the era of dominance that started from the introduction of hybrid engines. I do not see any changes coming until 2022. And if this is going to be title number 7 maybe for Hamilton this year,
Yep.
the mere fact that they banned party mode and Mercedes not only managed to qualify pole, they broke the track record. Itself shows you
Don't get me started. It
what
broke.
of a huge mockery they're doing of the FIA. I can imagine FIA with the Pikachu meme face right now.
Yeah.
That FIA bans party mode, Hamilton sets fastest lap record. FIA Pikachu face.
Yeah. FIA Pikachu face is on point. Honestly, like, really, what is happening in real Formula 1? The dominance they're showing.
It's not about just the Mercedes domination, it's more about the other team's lack of
sure.
being competitive.
Yeah.
The closest competitor, Red Bull, at least Ferrari, even though they had a botchy engine last year, they were competitive.
Yeah, but even Red Bull.
Part of the problem was with that as well, because that just pushed Mercedes to get even better, but they didn't expect Ferrari to falter behind, and it just created a monster, I guess.
Yeah, but even Red Bull, right? Like, they're being out-qualified by the likes of McLaren and Racing Point now. I mean, clearly their resources aren't being, concentrated on the right paths or the business.
You already know that Red Bull has amazing stuff, given how they have managed to repair Verstappen's car not once but twice this season. First at Hungary and then recently in Monza.
Yes.
26 minutes to repair the entire front of a car. You have to give them credit. They have proper
For sure.
workforce. And they do have quality drivers as well. So, where do you think they're lacking?
My opinion, they care too much about Max Verstappen. It's just too much.
I actually am still salty about that because Daniel Ricciardo is one of my favorite drivers. And I watched him suffer during his last season with Red Bull. The same way he had to endure everything through it, and then Christian Horner just went to Max Verstappen and made him the poster boy, while forgetting about everything Ricardo was and was doing. So I guess that's the thing, management is very, very bad in RBR.
Yeah.
We saw it with Pierre Gasly as well, and it hurts. It really hurt everybody to watch Pierre be treated this way. But yeah, they're not going to be fixing that anytime soon.
It is what it
because
is.
they've already made too many mistakes.
Yeah, and looks like we missed the start of the race because of technical issues. So we are going straight into. Oh no, we haven't. Great. That's always nice to know.
Yeah, we do see them lining up on the grid. So I guess we'll have to apologize to our viewers, and I think it was Sanjukta. The introductions will have to wait
Yes, for sure.
for a while. Hopefully you can call it up soon, maybe through social media or the next race.
Probably
You need to remind us.
Yeah, for sure you'll find Rudra in on RoadRunnerRacingCo Esports' Instagram. So be sure to come and follow us there, for sure. 18 seconds to go.
All the drivers are here. We don't see any bots so far.
Yeah. Srivatsan and UK has joined. We'll be starting in the back of the pack, and we are set to go racing at Spa. Let's see who will come out on top. Free starts on pole. Mr. Wex is in the front as well. He's in P3 with Big Man Joe in P2. We've seen him do this more than once. Big Man Joe, let's see if we can get the jump, and we are away, and yes, off goes Williams, going wide there. Mercedes AMG Freeze doing good there. Big Man Joe slowing down Mr. Wex, getting that jump on him. Looks like there's a car almost stationary. Going to Radion. Who do you think will come out on top?
They did a tremendous job jumping to P4 in 2 turns. My God.
Yeah, brilliant job, yo. Mr. Wex ahead of Big Man Joe. He's got accelerate on his tail. Big Man Joe. Meanwhile, chaos at the back of the pack. Setu RC18, Srivatsan 10, Supreme Leader. What is happening at the back of the pack?
Yeah, it's split into 2 groups almost. I wonder, did a car come in the middle? Virtual safety car after all. So I
Yeah,
think,
virtual safety car. Looks like Thunderbird's lost half his wing,
oh yes, he has.
which means there was an incident we missed, as Setu RC18 and VPA seem to be fighting on the virtual safety car.
Should you be telling them or should I tell them?
True that, huh? They are almost. Yep, they are. They're switching positions. Weird.
I feel like a VSC is much better than SC because the safety car just slows everybody down, and every driver has complained about the safety car being very, very slow. At least with the VSC, you have a delta to match.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hyrox 24 and Srivatsan 10 are almost fighting. Yep, Srivatsan 10 comes out on top in that fight. Meanwhile, the Toro Rosso approaching Hyrox 24. He's had a moment himself, and he's got a Renault to worry about as well.
I think a 3-way battle. Ooh, the Toro Rosso comes out on top already.
Yep, he does. And it's a 3-way battle, like you said. Rudra Hyrox 24 looking around the outside. Will he get it wheel to wheel going into the next corner? Thunderbird, Wixley 56 and Hyrox 24. Goes wide there.
Pretty wide. If it wasn't, he would have definitely spun around for sure.
Yeah. That was a close one, as I think Thunderbird's lost it. No, he goes straight into the picks with Hyrox 24 as well. Supreme Leader at the back of the pack.
I think these two might have collided, causing the front wing damage and the virtual safety car.
Well,
It could be very much possible.
Yeah, possibly, and looks like it's almost a five-way battle. This is insane. Sicknig has only Cuppy to worry about right behind him. Meanwhile, in front of him, KDB on the tail of Accelerate.
There was a bit of a lockup there, and a lockup again.
Yeah, and Sicknig will try his luck at KDB this time around, as KDB's lost a bit of pace, in fact.
Space and pace, to be honest.
Ooh, what a wide, going incredibly wide.
Both the drivers. Do you think it might be the dirty air? It could possibly be that. KDB locking up again. I feel like his brakes have heated up quite a bit. He's not able to gain the traction.
Yeah, and like
Not is able to turn his car. Another lockup. You see?
Yeah, and like we said, the Red Bull car, like you mentioned, is designed for this track in one way or the other. But KDB's Williams with realistic performance isn't going to help him in this race.
Surely won't. You can see Sicknig is creeping at every turn. He's getting closer and closer, and he will definitely be in the striking distance when Eau Rouge comes up.
Yep, close enough. Looks like Accelerate is
Going for a
close.
switchback.
He's trying.
Almost got it.
Can he get it? There are two cars in front of him battling as well. That's Accelerate and Big Man Joe. Looks like he will have to wait. Sicknig. Meanwhile, Accelerate on the tail of Big Man Joe. Rusty Nish only Cuppy.
Rashinish gets his position back. He actually climbs to P7.
Yeah, meanwhile, Vix356 making an incredible climb to P12. But got that jump because VPA, but he loses that car. Only Cuppy.
He lost his front wing. Oh, I just forgot that ghosting is there.
Yeah. It was a close one, but no, it was a close one, Rudra. Your exclamation wasn't wrong. It was a real close one there.
I wonder if BRL runs with simulation or just damage, normal damage model.
Reduced damage it is as the safety car comes out.
I wonder how it would be with simulation. It would be like a carnage.
For sure. That would have.
I would pay to see that.
One thing's for sure. That little incident which was averted, clearly that would have been absolute chaos if it was, simulation.
With a simulation, I would have definitely seen only Cuppy's tire flying off through the straight.
Yeah, for sure. Would have been disaster. Mr. Wex holding on to P2, got that jump on Big Man Joe pretty early. 3-second time penalty for Freeze, who's running in front. And Mr. Wex is 3.628 away.
Sicknig has dropped to B8 as well. I wonder what happened with Sicknig.
Incidents initially UK made a spectacular climb. Safety car, yellow flag. But the track map seems to not be yellow. So now I'm questioning whether this is a glitch or not. Let's take a look at what the drivers have on in terms of tires. Rusty Nish on the mediums along with UK as well. And the top runners are on softs. Meanwhile, KDB goes into the pits. VPA running P15, Srivatsan 10, P13. Meanwhile, Sicknig going into the pits. Who's gonna come out on top? Because we got 3 drivers in the pits.
Going for, even Sicknig as well, going for a hard stop strategy, I guess. One stop with the hard tires.
Yep, seems like it. Let's see if that's gonna work out for him or not. With 18 laps to go, we see both the Red Bulls pitting. I wonder what kind of tires only Cuppy has got on. Mediums is coming
like
out.
Mediums. Yes, it is.
And Srivatsan 10?
Srivatsan, the Supreme Leader, KDB and Sicknig. Only 4 people on hard tires right now. Supreme Leader running P17. That is worrying.
Srivatsan 10 just coming out on the mediums. So the prediction in the chat, Rudra, is that only Cuppy will come out on top. No, not only Cuppy, but VPA will come out on top. That's the prediction.
P14, if he has to respect their wishes, he'll have to maybe do a scenario 7 every lap.
Well, look at this, Rudra. We saw the Mercedes AMG Formula 1 car almost race with the Mercedes AMG GTR.
Safety car is too slow. It's like a go-kart on this track.
Yes, it is, isn't it? But Big Man Joe making space there as Rusty Nation UK, awfully close.
That was on hard tire. Will have to heat up their tires very quickly because Belgium is not ideal for hard tires. Although it is not too brutal on tire wear, so you can make a one-stop work. It's just that you will be searching for grip for every other lap, maybe.
Yeah. And looks like the three drivers you're highlighting are KDB, Sicknick and Supreme Leader on the hards. So let's see what they can do. Kapi will come on the top, says Sri Kripa, and Sanjukta says VPA Kapi, VPA Kapi. Okay.
The Rustiness were the biggest gainers so far, including the safety lap. They just had terrific starts and they fought well to keep everybody at bay, and it paid off.
I think honestly I'm kind of grinning because Mr. Wex is in P2. He's gonna enjoy this one if he actually finishes in a podium position. The fact that he is in a possible winning situation. Freeze seems to have gone AI, which means he's lost connection. It's nice to see that little alert there this time around. We don't usually get to see it.
Mr. West will definitely be hoping for a turn of fortunes.
Yeah.
He did not finish in Austria, he did not finish in Silverstone, and he did not start for Hungary.
Yeah.
He has had 3 very unfortunate races and he has to gain momentum now.
Hey, yes, it has been a difficult one for him. Gouts is in P8 on the softs. He's the
comfortable position so far. I would expect him to climb up to P5 maybe.
Yeah.
Which would be ideal for him, but let's see.
But he's the only driver on the softs out of the midfield pack.
Maybe there's an alternate strategy. He might be pitting along with the front 4 leaders.
Yep, I'm
Trying
sure.
to get an undercut working.
I'm sure Mr. Wex and Gouts are on team radio, coordinating like to the max. I won't be surprised if an unusual podium with both of them a little audacious in terms of my predictions.
Seems to have, sorry to interrupt that, Sarthik, but Signic just got a 5-second
time
penalty for a severe collision with KDB.
And looks like KDB is dropping himself as well. That was disaster for him.
It said severe collision, so I kind of think that they might have damage.
Let's take a closer look at their cars. Safety car in this lap, so that's great to hear. Which means we'll be going racing soon enough. Gouts is the only one with a soft. Ashwini says, okay, looks like we've got Gouts' mates as well in the chat. Up 15 of you all watching, make sure you drop in the chat which driver you think will come out on top. Meanwhile, Freeze is all set to go racing again. The 2 Mercedes leading the pack. Not surprised, to say the least. And I think we're ready to go racing as Hyrox24 falls back in the back of the pack with Supreme Leader for some reason, and Mercedes AMG leading the race pretty well. Mr. Wex going in there, holding on to it. Big Man Joe on his tail, disqualified from session, ignored drive-through penalty, VPA. What has happened to VPA?
No, currently somebody prevented VPA to come up on top, right?
Yep, he did. But meanwhile, Rudra, look at him go. Big Man Joe around the outside, gets that jump on Mr. Wex, but can he keep the position?
Yes. He does indeed.
Accelerate not too far back himself as UK on the tail of Rusty Nish. It looks like on the tail of Rusty Nish. He's going to remain for a while at least. After a long time, we see UK and Seto RC18 together.
Not often you get to see the two brothers on the track together.
Yeah. It's sweet of Victory56 holding on at P11. We'll be looking to make a spectacular climb as Supreme Leader and HarryRocks24 battling it out since the start, since the restart of the race. As I think HarryRocks24 almost lost his car back there.
He did so again. I wonder why he's having grip issues on mediums. If anything, there should be grip issues for the hard tires.
Yeah,
but
and
Supreme Leader is doing just fine.
Meanwhile, Mr. Wex has Accelerate to worry about. Seems like his pace has dipped here, Mr. Wex. UK gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting.
That is gonna sting.
It's the Haas and Ferrari here as we go down the main straight. Rusty Nish, can he hold the two Haases off?
Looks possible.
Meanwhile, Victory56 with a spectacular overtake there against Sicknig. Looks like they're battling it out. Yep, they are three-way battle once again. Sicknig, Only Cuppy and Victory56. UK is falling. Incredibly, 3-second time penalty after multiple warnings for Thunderbird as well.
We've seen a lot of corner cutting and off the track driving by many of the drivers here. Severe grip issues from the looks of it, but I don't know why. Maybe it's just the tire temperatures because of the safety car.
Only Cuppy challenging Sicknig, but doesn't quite get it. But to your point, indeed, Rudra, it's becoming more and more evident as we go lap on lap. Oh, three-way battle.
I understand.
It's three-way battle. HarryRocks24 has Srivatsan 10 on his tail. Sector 2 goes yellow as Gouts seems to have crashed. Yes, he has. Oh no.
One is off. Terrible oversteer for him. He was doing very well.
Yep.
He's back to square one now. And he's on soft tires which are almost gonna start going off the cliff.
Not gonna help him. Not gonna help him one bit as Victory56 closes in on yep, the Haas. Look at him go. UK has Victory56 on his tail. Beware UK. Dives into the pits. Looks like a three-way battle coming up. Yep, but none of them too happy or too obliging to give each other slipstream going into the main corner. And Thunderbird and Only Cuppy fighting it into turn one. Can they hold it together? Yes, he does. Thunderbird keeps the position. And it's a spin-off. HarryRocks24 has spun, Rudra.
That was a horrible crash. He has lost his front wing, but oh my god, that must have shook him completely.
Oh my god, HarryRocks24, what has happened here today?
He's sliding all over the place. That front wing is not going to be helping him.
Disaster for him. As a three-way battle in front of him, his teammate has pressure from the Toro Rosso, Renault and a Red Bull coming up. Meanwhile, Supreme Leader trying the inside line. Will he get it? The Toro Rosso takes the lead out of this four-way battle. Supreme Leader not too happy about that. Will he get it down the inside? He peaks. Meanwhile, we've got competition fights in front. The front runners. Big Man Joe has taken the race lead. And yep, we are back. Rudra, are you with me?
Missed a lot.
Not much actually. Looks like we had a connection issue yet again. Let's see if we have missed a lot. And sorry about that sneeze in the gaps. Could we rejoin the race is the question. Seems like we've had quite a bit of issues today. Fortunate truly. You're breaking a bit, Rudra.
Hope that the connection is stable by the time we get in.
Let's hope so. Looks like we are back and ready to watch the race, the Belgian GP of the Bwoah Racing League. We should have missed just a couple of laps, not too many, hopefully. Nope, it hasn't. Looks like we're going to take a while, folks. Please do stay with us as we solve a persistent issue, so to speak. Okay, let's hope for the best this time around. Third attempt, folks. Probably can get to watch the race once again. Meanwhile, Ruta, not the first time this is happening. Not the first time this is happening to us, is it?
No, I mean, we are used to at this point.
Yeah.
And it's not surprising anymore.
True that. Yep.
Although I am missing my Discord stream, by the way.
Yeah, it's on the way. As soon as I get to join these lads.
I expect an express delivery. Thank you so much.
Of course, don't we all? Up. Let's try another time. Folks, probably third time's the charm. Freeze is retired from this session. UK retired from this session. Clearly something's wrong.
It is possible that something's wrong. I mean, you've not faced such a severe issue in a long time. This might be the first time that it's gone on for so long.
looks like we could possibly look at a race restart. We got Freeze saying that the game has glitched. Let's try once again. See where we go. Meanwhile, folks staying with us, thank you so much for bearing with our inconvenience. Yeah. Possibly, who do you think will come out on top in today evening's race? Actually, not even the Bwoah Racing League, normal Formula 1. Of course, all fingers will point towards Lewis Hamilton. But I feel Valtteri Bottas will come out on top instead. What do you think?
I feel that too. I guess Bottas might just do a Rosberg for this one race.
Mhm.
What's even weirder is that maybe Sainz has a chance of it if his luck plays along with him just for today.
Yep. That's not even.
I feel he's the unluckiest driver in F1 currently. There have been many people who've been tagged that, but right now it's him.
I have a feeling, just in general, it's gonna be, when it comes to luck, like the only thing I can think of is like if you're really that lucky, possibly a Ferrari podium, maybe. Yeah, your silence. Your silence speaks
Best
for
way to get a
itself.
Ferrari podium.
Your silence speaks for itself, Rudra.
I feel though that it will not be as bad as people are. I mean, definitely it's meme time. It's mocking them because you kick a man when he's down, but things will get better next season. And Sainz, he can only help the team. There's no way we can go any further below. So yeah, only one way up.
Yep, clearly. Let's see, and thoughts about his departure from McLaren to Ferrari. He's still optimistic, so that's always great.
Yeah, as I said, you can't really blame the team because who would in their right mind refuse Ferrari, no matter where they are? If you join them at their strongest, you are guaranteed to win titles or recognition or fame. And if you are at the lowest, you will be the person who helped them rebuild the team. So you can never go wrong with Ferrari. It's the name.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also the name on which so many of the people who should be removed are still kind of stringing along. But I won't point out any names, but people in the team know who has to go out.
Yeah, of course, I'm sure. I think it's a lot of people do, to be honest. And who has joined the commentators box, in fact?
We have Supreme Leader over here, right here with us.
Oh, Supreme Leader. What's up? Give us an update.
Glitches with my game. I had some glitches with my game, so
Yeah.
I wasn't able to continue further.
You and us both, Supreme Leader, because we are still trying to get back into the race.
I'm
Yes,
going to uninstall my Steam and reinstall it again. Some problem with it.
At this point, I'm ready to go buy a new laptop, to be honest. Yeah.
We'll still find a way
What
make us
happened?
suffer.
In a race full of safety cars, I guess.
Another one, I'm
Two
pretty sure.
safety cars and
Okay.
two virtual safety cars.
Okay, which means we missed one safety car, Rudra.
I should
Yeah,
be
might
feeling
be.
too
I had
bad.
a safety car between lap 3 and lap 6.
Mm-hmm.
We were there for that.
Yeah, okay.
Clearly.
But we were missing an exciting race nonetheless.
Yes, we are, aren't we? Spa. Either way, we're still
Oh,
trying.
my teammate is second position. It's nice.
Oh, wow. Okay, Vixie56 running P2, folks. I'm guessing Big Man Joe's running P1. So we still have the hype. We just don't have the video yet. But hopefully we get it, huh?
It means that Mr. Wex has dropped down. Bad news for you, Sarthak. You were rooting for him.
Yeah, it was an unusual, actually a well-deserved podium it would have been. But clearly, with this race, he's fallen. I'm guessing he's running
Jumped into the
awfully low.
top 10. That would have been a huge thing for him.
Clearly. I'm guessing Gauts is running at the back of the pack as well. Look at us.
That guy is the Carlos Sainz of BRL, to be honest. He's the unluckiest driver on the grid right now.
Yeah, but look at us, Rudra. We're commentating for a race we aren't even watching right now.
I don't know if I should be praising us or BRL, but I'm just gonna praise both.
We all know
What
who.
happened, guys? Aren't you streaming?
Yep, we are in the process, the Supreme Leader. We are trying to get the race back
give you
online
update.
for our viewers. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So Big Man Joe and Wiggs are battling for P2. They're pretty close actually. KDB is leading the race as of now, and Mr. Wiggs is on P4, followed by XR8 and Rusty Nish. So that's the top 6 actually, and they are pretty close.
Uh-huh.
That's a good lineup. That is a very, very tasty lineup.
Yeah. It is.
I would have loved
Top-
to see you there in the top 3 maybe, because you could have easily jumped into the second position if Accelerate wasn't so
Because of
high.
my game glitches, I wasn't even able to put a proper quali. I didn't even set a time actually.
Yeah, we noticed.
It was really.
We were both pretty amazed. Weren't we, Sarthak?
Yep, we were. We were incredibly amazed. And now we are amazed at this game,
Yeah.
aren't we all?
We are all amazed by the glitches.
Yep.
What lap are we on right now, Subhira?
Sorry?
What lap are we on right now? Can you tell us?
Lap 15. We are entering lap 16 right now.
Okay,
Alright.
probably we can reach for the final
Rusty
couple laps.
Nash has over. No, oh no.
Okay,
He
folks.
was about to overtake Accelerate, I guess.
Okay, looks like Rusty Nation Accelerate are battling it off, and we are missing it. Yep. And meanwhile, in the chat, Rick Sanchez Rudra says, just say Binotto, we know. And Kumori Zora, who's Ryan, is also in the chat. He says, the old school days of listening to radio commentary.
Wow, that is an honor actually. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. It is a compliment. What am I
For
not
sure,
kidding,
for
but
sure. For sure.
It's
it
like
is.
Sky Sports but in the radio form, you know.
Yep.
I feel privileged right now.
And we've got the Supreme Leader here with us giving us race updates because he's watching it through his game.
And Rusty Nash is on his soft tires. He's battling it out with Accelerate so close.
Oh my god, now
They're
I
on
regret
sector
it.
2 right now, and
Okay,
yeah.
I think we can get into game right about now. Let's hope for the best.
And it's a fight for P1 position as well, with KDB and Big Man Joe close up with each other.
Oh,
KDB is up
Yeah.
in front, and let's take a look. We have connected. Folks, keep your fingers crossed as we rejoin the Belgium GP of the Bwoah Racing League. Let's go racing.
still waiting for the delivery of my stream, Sarthak.
Yep, soon enough,
Oh,
as
Accelerate
they
did
are
that.
back in the race. Safety car, Supreme Leader, thank you so much. We are back. Accelerate retired from this session. It's absolute chaos out there. KDB leading the race. And Rudra, your stream is on the way, my friend.
Thank you. And as Sanchez mentioned Binotto, he was a fantastic engineer, to be honest. And he did very well as the head over there. But
Yeah.
his team is not out of the principal role. And I would love to see him go back to Gold Coast and maybe get back Arriva Penne or something. But yeah, you need some sort of a Williams-like revolution at Ferrari, I guess. Not in terms of the owners, but more like management.
Yeah, more on that later indeed. Looks like Accelerate UK Freeze. Supreme Leader, it says you're in the pits, my friend.
Yep, I saw Tracy. I retired my car in the pits itself.
Oh, okay. Now it makes sense.
That's why I was here.
Yeah, of course.
Sneak 100, I suppose.
Thank you so much, Supreme Leader, for all the updates. Now, let's now let's see. KDB leading the race. Big Man Joe in P2. Mr. Wex is still in the mix, Rudra. Still in the mix.
They only mean good things because I was kind of hoping Accelerate to climb to the podium places, but now Mr. Wex has one better chance.
Yep. Hopefully for the last 5 laps of the Belgian GP of the Bwoah Racing League, we'll see some amazing action between the drivers. and who'll come out on top is the question. Clearly, I've been proven wrong. KDB is leading the race in a realistic performance. Williams.
Isn't that amazing from
Just
KDB?
made by Darlington
Exactly.
Capital. Maybe we're living in the future.
But like Supreme Leader said, it is amazing to see him leading the race. He's got Big Man Joe to worry about though, right behind.
But I feel Rastinesh is at an advantage right now because he's on soft tires and last two laps they're pretty much close, and the Ferrari speed he could actually overtake pretty quickly.
What do you think, boys? Both of y'all. Do you think he's going to be on an advantage? Do you think the Sauce will last another 5 laps easily?
Yeah, I feel it'll last actually. Because he pitted during the last safety car, which was around lap 15, 14 I guess. So it will last, I guess, another. Actually, the soft tires lifespan is around 10 laps, so he pretty much has a lot of life left in it. Yep.
Alrighty.
You mentioned the safety car was at the same time. I guess they're practically unused, practically fresh.
Yep.
Of course, KDB leading the race. Big Man Joe right behind Mr. Wex P3, Rusty Nish P4, Setu RC18 P5, Thunderbird P6, Sicknick P7. And looks like the only 2 drivers outside of the points. Looks like KDB. Something's wrong with KDB.
Spun out.
Possibly. He's running P10 now.
What happened?
Looks he either had. Are you sure he spun out, Rudra? Because I have a feeling he glitched.
I did see him horizontal to the track. I'm not sure. I did see him there. I don't know if he slid or he spun.
Okay. We find out. Unfortunate for him, and looks like Big Man Joe is leading the race again.
And he's on hard tires, so KDB is not gonna have the pace advantage at least.
Yeah, and UK in the chat
So
says. UK in the chat says, sorry guys, didn't give much of a show. Had a good comeback, but my keyboard stopped responding at various instances. Thanks for supporting UK. Hopefully my retirement was caught on stream. Unfortunately, it wasn't.
Let's not break the news to him just yet, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just yet. And as we get ready to go racing, I'm guessing safety car in this lap, perhaps 18th lap. We're all set to start the 19th lap soon enough as they come around sector 2. Only Cuppy gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Big Man Joe currently in the lead of the race. Mr. Wex right behind, Rusty Nish on the softs. Anyone's guess who's going to come out on top. Let's see. Meanwhile, in the chat, 8 of y'all who stuck with us through the technical issues, through the hiccups, drop in the chat. Who do you think will come out on top?
Once again, thank you for tuning into Sky Sports.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god. Yep. And looks like Rusty Nish has lost connection. He won't be glad about that. Anything can happen here. I won't be surprised if Mr. Wex gives Big Man Joe a run for his money going into the next couple of laps. Insider news says Rusty Nish got disconnected. Okay. He won't be. Let's hope.
Looking for a fight for the P1 now.
Yeah.
Nish is not here.
2 more corners. He's got 2 more corners before these boys start race once again.
Oh, he's pitting! Oh my god!
It's disaster for Rusty Nish.
Pitting.
Rusty Nish, disaster for him, but we go racing as Big Man Joe takes off into the race lead. Mr. Wex holding on, only Cuppy taking that overtake and will hold on to P6 as he goes wide. Gouts can capitalize on this. Yes, he does. Wheel to wheel, and Gouts comes out on top.
You really have to feel for Rusty Nish. He was done dirty by Jeff, none other than Jeff.
He won't be pleased. He won't be pleased. Coming out with the mediums, and Rusty Nish fails to get podium position as Watson 10 as DNF. Hydrox 24. Hydrox 24.
Are those old mediums, by the way, on Rusty Nish?
Possibly.
My
Gouts trying to battle it out with these drivers here. Gouts is approaching Hydrox 24 right about now. Yep, 5-way battle here. Siknik trying his jump on KDB. KDB trying a jump on only Cuppy. 3-second time penalty for Siknik after multiple warnings. Oh, they shunt. KDB goes wide. Possibly that shunt actually impacted him. Rudra, are you with me?
Yes, I am, Sarthak, and I'm just watching KDB struggling right now.
Yep.
That was a very unfortunate thing to happen during the safety lap.
Meanwhile, Victory 56 will be looking to capitalize on this. And in the front, Mr. Wex closing in on that gap.
So it's getting his DRS category, but yeah.
3-second time penalty for Thunderbird. Go ahead, Rudra.
I think that as long as Mr. Wex stays in the DRS territory for Big Man Joe, he will have a good chance of getting something at the end.
KDB overtakes.
Yeah, KDB's trying, wheel to wheel, going on the main straight. Will he get it? Only Cuppy holding on, going into turn 1, inside line. Only Cuppy will try and come out on top there. Victory 56 will be in the mix as well. 3-second time penalty for Big Man Joe, who's leading this race.
Not by a big margin, sadly.
Yep, and going into KDB on the tail of only Cuppy. Will he get the jump slipstream? Come on, KDB, can you do it? Only Cuppy is rendered weak there as KDB comes out on top. Tries? No, only Cuppy defends like a boss.
That was an awful lot of weaving though from only Cuppy.
Yep.
You aren't supposed to be weaving like that, especially not near the braking zone.
Especially indeed. And looks like KDB and Vix56 getting into that mix. 3-second time penalty for Hydrox 24 in the process. And they shunt as well. Going into the next corner. Rudra, are you with me? Vix56 gets that jump.
No way I'm missing this action right now.
Yep. No one would like to either. And Vix56 battling it out pretty aggressively. Comes out on top there. Only Cuppy has lost 2 positions in the course of a lap. And he's got Siknik to worry about right about now.
Mr. Wex with a 5-second penalty, that will help Big Man Joe.
That disaster for him, because Big Man Joe was handed a 3-second time penalty, so it did look optimistic on Mr. Wex's result. Setu RC18, Rudra, he is in a podium position right now as we start the penultimate lap of the Belgian GP. Top 6 drivers, nope, not top 6, my bad. Yeah, top 6 in fact, within 5 seconds of each other, so to speak.
Siknik and Vix356 were also handed penalties just now. Siknik with the 5-second penalty, if I'm not wrong. KDB with another 3-second penalty.
Penalties all around. Closing in.
DRS has been enabled this lap. We might see some last-minute overtakes because there's just one more lap to go after this.
Yeah, you predicted right. Look at Vix356 go. He's trying to search, trying to see if he can get a gap, that jump on KDB.
He lost us again for the nth time today. He's really struggling with his brakes today.
Incredibly. Look at Mr. Wex, Rudra. He's keeping that gap so close to his opponent, and so is Gouts. Just under a second to Thunderbird.
Mr. Wex is gonna be a very happy duck. He currently sits 14th in the standings. He will leapfrog by almost 6 positions, I guess.
Yep, he will. Penultimate lap, Mr. Wex holding on to that. He just needs one more perfect lap and he should be able to possibly win this race, but that 5-second penalty is the question, isn't it?
That is a very crucial factor right now.
He's trying, lost a bit of pace there. Starting the final lap of the Belgian GP, gets the slipstream he needs, doesn't peek down the inside, does that. What a jump on Big Man Joe, he got there.
You need to remember that Mr. Wex has to win by at least 2 seconds gap. Otherwise, it will be for nothing.
Yes. And for the first time in the Bwoah Racing League, a McLaren Mr. Wex is leading this race, but not for long as Big Man Joe gets that slipstream, peeks around the outside, and just glides by.
It was special when it lasted. Let's see if it can come up again. Half a lap to go.
Half a lap, yes. Final lap shenanigans as Mr. Wex and Big Man Joe go head to head into the next couple of corners. Meanwhile, at the back of the pack, Gouts is attacking. Rusty Nish gets a 3-second time penalty. Gouts was almost on the gearbox of Thunderbird.
This is still a very good position to be in given what happened to him mid-race.
Yep.
You know, at the end.
Indeed it was, and looks like Big Man Joe is pushing real hard. That gap has only, oh my god, Wix 356 and Gouts have retired. Wix 356 and Gouts have retired. A crash we missed. Possibly on board Rusty Nish, can we see them?
I think so. I'm not sure. Maybe we are past it. We
No.
could be
Oh,
past
they're there.
it.
They're
No,
in the
there
center
they
of the track. Oh my god.
Oh,
Disaster
that's a
for them.
horrible crash.
Yep. And on the last lap, Big Man Joe will come across the line, will win it on track, but will he win it overall? Yes, he keeps it. The return. Oh no, my god. My god. Setu RC18 capitalizing on those time penalties. A Haas has won the Belgian GP.
Plot twist we have seen ever, maybe.
What a race! The time penalties cost them all. Setu RC18 race winner for the first time in the Bwoah Racing League. And what a way to win it!
Really unfortunate for Gots and Wix 356. They were so high up in the points, and thankfully, Gots at least gets 1 point out of this race.
Yep. Only 9 drivers, Rudra. 9 drivers came across the line. Setu RC18 takes the win. Big Man Joe P2. Mr. Wex for the first time on the podium P3. Hyrox 24 P4. Thunderbird P5. KDB manages to finish the race P6. Only Cuppy P7. Sicknig P8. Rusty Nish P9. What a disastrous crash at the last lap between Gouts and Wix 356.
I was almost convinced that we might see another safety car just for that one lap. It was that bad of a crash.
But this is the lad. This is the lad who did it all. And he just managed to put himself in the most brilliant positions throughout this session. Setu RC18, the new race winner of the BRL. Well done to him.
It's just the fact that he need to drive fast all the time. He need to drive smart as well. He capitalized on the penalties that the other two did. What a wonderful story for him today.
Yeah. Brilliant. Haas, and Alfa Romeo and a McLaren on the podium.
I don't know which universe are we living in, but this sounds good.
Brilliant. I'm pretty sure the stewards are going to have quite a bit of ruckus to handle throughout this week. As in beautiful formation, till the very end, the 3 podium finishers of the Belgian GP.
Now we are just having a lot of fun. This does look very, very interesting.
As it does. Well, worth it for them, as the game has begun its shenanigans once again. But that is the Belgian GP for y'all. Pity we couldn't see their podium. Unfortunate. But it was what it is. First time race winner Setu RC18. Congratulations to him. And to the 7 of y'all who stayed till the very end. Thank you so much. They actually stayed, Rudra, listening to us.
Can sense a fan base forming very soon.
Yep.
And I'm very happy with that.
Yes, indeed. Bwoah Racing League fam. Thank you so much, everyone. And everybody who kept the chat buzzing. We always appreciate you coming by and communicating with us amongst yourselves. Make sure you do come by for the next race next Sunday. Every weekend is a race weekend here at the Bwoah Racing League. Until then, we'll see you. Cheers. stayed till the very end. Thank you so much. They actually stayed, listening to us.